Thank you for coming to Encountering Difference 2018, and welcome to Camberwell College of the Arts. I'd like to say that this is actually the first time that I've actually stepped foot in this lecture theatre as well. So if anything goes wrong, it's not my fault. I just do not know how things operate. So my name is Dr. Opie Laurie. I'll be convening today's event. Hopefully this will be a really interesting and very experimental symposium. I'm sure a lot of you are probably wondering how this all came about. And before I go into that, let me just give you a few housekeeping rules. And I will say I'll do the housekeeping because in the prequel to this event, I forgot to do the same. And we actually had a fire. So, well, I think some sort of a fire. So in the event of a fire, please either go to your left or your right. Go up the steps, go back to reception, and then you'll be congregating by the Sainsbury's, which is next door to your right. But hopefully nothing will happen. Okay. Screen's not working. One technical hitch. There we go. Should work. Okay, so how did this event come about? So last year had two particular moments, quite two big important moments. I was given a talk at the ICA on conceptualizing blackness, and I was responding to a provocation by two professors at Train, and they were talking about thinking about police brutality in the current state in the US, and trying to make a distinction between what was being policed. And they were saying that, is there a distinction between the black body, seen as the social, so maybe in terms of thinking about the codes and really the codes of blackness and whatever that looked like or whatever that was, is there a distinction between that and also the black body per se, as in like the actual body, the physical body? And that was just quite provocative, and I was thinking, wow, really, what does that even mean? So that was one moment. The second one was a talk given by Professor Robert Storr. And this was literally after Donald Trump got inaugurated. And Professor Robert Storr, he was literally in tears. And he was saying basically, there's a time for theory, but for this particular moment, we need some action. We can theorize around race and difference and all those things, but actually we need something to happen, which is concrete. We had that talk at the art school, and I think it was a call. It seemed like a rally for artists to come together and actually do something. And this is where this event had emitted from. So that call to action in the prequel is actually a lens-based speed data. So it's an open call, open to artists. We invited 3 guest artists who are with us today, and then there's an open call for other artists who are working around the concept of difference. So you can see some pictures there. In fact, that's a scorecard. I don't know if anyone's done speed dating, but that's kind of like your generic scorecard. So artists or practitioners who are working around difference from all walks of life responded. We had 14 artists at the end. We had 8 8-minute mini dates. So if you can imagine 14 artists, 8 mini dates. You can see the pictures there. Everyone was going around. It was, and I'm sure a lot of them will say, it was really laborious, but very, very enjoyable. And throughout that as well, there was a fire drill, so that stopped it, and then we had to come back. But it was really, really exciting. We had drinks as well, so that kept everyone going. It was a very, very good event. And from that, people decided to either continue their conversations, and that's where we are today. So basically, people have matched based on whether they actually liked each other's practices, or if they had things in common. They might have matched because actually they didn't have things in common, but they were still addressing difference, but in a completely different way. So today we're going to hear some of those conversations. The format is quite straightforward. The 14 artists will present their work to about 10-15 minutes, and then they will have their in-conversations with the artists which they partnered up with. I don't know those conversations, what they'll be like, but I will be here to chair those conversations. So then just finally, I just want to thank really all of the 14 artists, and I'll read out their names. I'm sure they're going to do it anyway. We have Ajamu, we have Azadeh Faithard, Akiko Takizawa, Pamela Breeder, Akenna Akobi, Carl Grinter, Lena Hubush, Carolyn Malloy, Beth Fox, Claire Charnley, Liu Wen, Grace Gelder, Sabrina Fuller, and Viviana Troyer. So thank you, all of you guys, for being here. To start us off, we're going to have quite an amazing keynote speaker speaking. So Dr. Leon Wainwright will be opening up the sessions. And just before I read his little bio, I'll say that at the end we'll be also having a little books signing of Dr. Leon's book called Phenomenal Difference, a philosophy of Black British art. That's the one, but you're going to introduce that anyway. And then to end the event as well, we're going to have the amazing Haytham Patel, who will be joining us a little bit later for a screening and to do a few closing remarks. So just before we finish, I just want to say thank you to the Chelsea, Camberwell and Wimbledon Graduate School for the support of doing this event, which is really, really great. Thank you to Malcolm Quinn there, to Gabrielle, Nick, and everyone else who's helped make this happen. Okay, so finally, and to Paul Goodwin as well. Okay, so finally, just moving on, we're going to start now with the keynote speaker.